Hello, as I can here show you the Bolountie Brothers coloring here is for the Bolountie Brothers is that it's a story about three three sets of triplets, one named Mark and Davis and Alex, and then they that while they're during school that is coming up on the spring break is that they choose to spend part of their the whole spring break, part of their spring break, camping, and then doing canoeing, and then along with being on the river, and then along with doing some fishing, and then along with the disco dance. But this part right here is like which I'll explain here in a little bit. But so far as the Bolountie Brothers is that these sets of triplets is that as they want a kind of like a vacation of their own, and so it's this idea for the Bolountie Brothers is that it's an idea that I had came up with so far. It's like kind of like a storybook. It's like kind of like I would say it's like a storybook, but the way I had made up part of the story is that it's a story about these three sets of triplets who decided to go on like a camping trip during their spring break, and then they ran into some trouble, and then along with making a few friends, and then those friends who decide if they want to make the right decisions for what they want to do. I guess if they after they finish school and all that stuff. But so far as with Mark, Davis, and Alex, it's like hey man, you want to go canoeing? And then Davis would be like we need a boat first. We need a boat. And then Alex was like, well, I don't know about that. I don't know about canoeing. And then they would build a fire. So far as a lantern, and then along with the fire, it's like they would build a tent, and then of course a life vest too. It's like you need a life vest for the canoeing, but it's like well, yeah, I wonder if we can put the life vest on, put the life vest on, and then we'll go ahead and go canoeing. And then it's like Davis will be like send up the tent, find a location to set up the tent, and then to build the fire, and that find scraps of wood or sticks or whatever that they would find out in the wilderness or whatever, and then have a lamp with them, and it's like they would more or less be. The story goes is that I don't know if they packed their own camping gear or what, but so far it's like if they were younger, maybe they would see if their parents had any type of camping gear around the house, such as a tent and maybe a lantern. But these are like what you call are like teenage, or like kind of like a younger teenager type sets of triplets. But anyway, along with the canoeing, and along with the river, and then along with the fishing, it's like they catch a few fish, and then along with the disco, it's like the disco ball light, when they go to the party and stuff. But right here will be the mom. It's like later on, it's like in the story that find out that where they were exactly. They were out on during our spring break, and then they run into some trouble, and then the mom later on finds out, and then winds up finding them. And later on, I think he was either at the party or somewhere out in the woods, and where they were camping. And then along right here is like whenever they go back to school, it's that they would write a report pretty much about how their spring break went, and like as long as is that what they had to say about that. But so far as but the Bolountie Brothers, it's like it's pretty much a story about these three sets of triplets. Who did they decided they want to go on like a camping trip, for their spring break time, and pretty much spring break's pretty much already over with for most students, which I think students are pretty much already out of school, but this idea kind of came up with is for like I think would be kind of perfect for like a movie or a storybook, but the Bolountie Brothers, these three sets of a triplet, twin, brothers who grew up together, and then they wanted to have like an adventures of their own, and then make a few friends, and I don't know about going out to like dance clubs or whatever, but one of them would meet a girlfriend, and then the other one the other one would maybe find out it's like, well, what he really wanted to do, but so far as Mark and Davis and Alex, it's like that they were like I can go on a camping trip, or it's like learn to drive, or to go fishing, or to go fishing, go canoeing, or it could be it's like they go for roast some marshmallows or something like that. But so far as the Vancouver brothers, what you call the Bolountie Brothers, it's like Vancouver is like Vancouver would maybe be one of their nicknames, but the Bolountie Brothers, that one of them would like have like shorter hair, and the other one would have like be wearing pants or something like that. But then they will be walking, walking down out in the wilderness. They'll be walking out in the wilderness, and then they pick a spot where they want to camp out, along with the tent, and then along with the bonfire, and then a light, and then along with the boat, and then a life vest. It's like pretty much we all know that nowadays, like we need a life vest whenever we go out on the water, on shore, and then along with the river, and then the fishing pole and disco light, and along with mom. It's like and they and then so far as you can't forget with the sunset. It's like a lot of times during the spring break, spring break holiday, that however you call it, that we like to see the sunset, sunrise and sunset, around that time. But they are is like the Bolountie Brothers coloring, based on what you call of Mark, of Mark Davis and Alex, and the Bolountie Brothers coloring.